Have you ever asked yourself, after sitting inside on a gorgeous sunny afternoon, sitting at your computer all day, wouldn't it be awesome to work outside? Or maybe you've noticed a plot of land and you've wondered, could I grow my own food there? And I asked myself these same questions a couple of years ago, and the answer is yes. If we haven't met before, my name is Stacy Murphy, and for the last 4 years I've been farming other people's backyards in Brooklyn. I would love nothing more than to be an instigator and inspire more people to become farmers because there's so much unused land sitting right under our noses, even here in New York City. People often ask me the same question. From all over the world I get this question: what is the business model for farming backyards? And it's really simple, and I think it could benefit a lot of farmers and communities all over the world. So I wanted to share that with you today on this video. I've done a lot of the heavy lifting already, so all you have to do is copy it. I also wanted to share on this video some details about my urban farming boot camp coming up the weekend of May 4th, where you can learn more details about backyard farming or growing your own food. And also, that weekend is very special. I'll tell you why at the end of this video, why this course is going to be very special. And you know, even if you're not going to join us in person on May 4th, hopefully you'll get some golden nuggets from this video today. So I promised the backyard model, and here it is. With any kind of business model, I like to think about the basic costs and then the beneficiaries and try to creatively balance those two things. And in the case of a backyard farming model, the costs are an initial installation cost, and then you have, down the line, you have your yearly operating costs, which include your labor as well as your materials. And then in terms of beneficiaries, you have the homeowner, you have the farmer, you have neighbors who are eaters, and Mother Nature, but we won't talk about her today. So the backyard is this lush, gorgeous, ever-changing garden. Things are growing and they're blooming, crops are changing over, and a homeowner would have to pay a designer a really pretty penny to create something this beautiful. So I like to think of myself as part artist and part farmer. And so it makes sense that the homeowner would pay for the installation since it's their yard. And in return, they would get free produce for the course of for the life of the project. And if you do the math, you'll find that in general, that means that they're going to be saving money over in the long run on their groceries. And so now you're probably asking, how does the farmer benefit, or how does she cover her costs? And that's where those eaters come in, or the neighbors, interested neighbors. And trust me, there are lots of interested neighbors who want very fresh, delicious tomatoes. And so those neighbors pay upfront a subscription fee for a share of the produce throughout the growing season. And they come to the farm weekly to pick up their share of the produce. Which means that there's no distribution costs in the business model. It's these subscription fees that pay the farmer for all of her hard work as well as all of her yearly supplies that she needs. And subscription lengths vary with different farms. Typically here in the Northeast, farmers do a 20-week subscription program, so that's something that's really good to shoot for, something from early June to early November. That would be a weekly service. So now you're probably wondering about the size of these yards compared to the size of the yards where you might be. And so you're going to have to do the math for yourself, but here's some guidelines based on my experience. I've grown in 600 square feet for 6 shares. That means approximately 100 square feet per share. And that is really, really tight. I don't recommend it. It doesn't leave any room for error, and there's always some sort of error in farming. Something happens. So I would recommend more like 150 to 200 square feet per share, depending on your experience level as a farmer. And so you could see, if you do the math and extrapolate, that if you had 10 to 12 of these yards, welcome to a new career in urban farming. I hope that starts to set off some light bulbs for people, or better yet, light a fire, so that more people are going to go out and grow some food. If you want to learn more, This is my invitation to you to come join us for the Urban Farmer Bootcamp training, where we can work side by side and you can figure out what kind of farmer you might be. And in this course, it's happening May 4th in Brooklyn. You're going to see that I'm totally obsessed with systems and simplicity. Being a great farmer is only partially about having a green thumb. A good farm management system has helped me achieve a lifestyle where I enjoy the weather, I set my own schedule, I feel connected to the earth and to my neighbors, and I have tons of delicious food at my fingertips. I would love this for you too if this is something that you're looking for. So we'll cover the basics of seeding and transplanting, composting, irrigation, preparing planting beds. We'll dive into the most common pitfalls that new farmers make, and we'll look at some of the tools that really good farmers use to track and streamline their efforts, because that's really what it's all about, is making it easy. So what makes this course so special on May 4th, the weekend of May 4th? As you may have heard, I'm moving to North Carolina the following weekend, so this might be the only local boot camp course that I offer this year in New York City. You might have to travel to North Carolina next year in order to take this course. So the other reason this boot camp course is so special is that we're planting out a backyard for a woman who is going to manage the farm herself this coming summer, and she has proclaimed that she does not have a green thumb. So I am going to share all of my very best tips for maximizing yield with very minimum efforts. So if you're someone who's just starting and wanting to learn the nuts and bolts of growing, this course is a great place to start because you're going to learn how to keep things really, really simple. I hope to see you there. What excites me most is that you might take the same plunge that I did and go from commuting to a desk job inside with a terrible HVAC system and then working out right after work because you're tired of sitting, to a career outdoor where you set your own hours, you harvest your lunch every day, and you stay fit without scheduling any workouts. Or maybe you start your own urban homestead and start growing your own food. The link to register with Skillshare is below. Join me there.